From Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, this is the Tucson Sunbelt College Summer League baseball action. Hello, I'm Alan Scott along with Piper Ballou with tonight's featured game of 3 on the schedule. In the featured game, it will be a battle to break a losing streak. The 5th place Old Pueblo Kings have dropped 4 games in a row, actually better than the 7th place Rincon Knights, who have come up with 7 straight losses. Statistically now, the Knights look to drop their 8th in a row based on the last time these two teams met. In that game on Thursday, June 6th, the Kings scored a 12-3 victory. However, that's why you play the game all the way through, as our league leading team was beaten a couple of weeks ago by a cellar dweller. And so when the dust settles, we'll just see what's what. Now, there are 2 other games on the schedule in the south fields of the Kino Sports Complex. They are the Cochise Stars against Team Tucson and the Tucson Champs against the Aztecs. We will update the scores from those games as they become available in a minute. I'll report on Saturday's game results, current league standings, and find out a little more about tonight's teams. First, I'd like to ask you to hear about the Sunbelt College Baseball League sponsors and ask you to support them as they support us. Our sponsors this year are O'Reilly Chevrolet, Stop and Go Driving School, Goliath Auto Sales, Rincon Financial Group, Jimmy John's Restaurants, the Best Western Tucson Airport Hotel and Suites, Firestone Auto Care, Chewy's Mexican Restaurant on 22nd Street, Elite Sporting Goods, Pima County Kino Sports Complex, and by Casal Fire Protection Company. Well, taking a look at the statistics and some of the results from Saturday, B&L Rockets beat the Cochise Stars by a count. It was the Aztecs 14-0 over the Rincon Knights. Team Tucson with a 19-7 win over the Tucson Champs. So looking at our standings, it is the Aztecs continuing in first place. They are a half game ahead of the B&L Rockets. The Rockets moved from second place up to third with their tight victory over the Cochise Stars. And then dropping into the third spot, or moving up to it actually, is Team Tucson. They're only a game back there, 6-3. The Cochise Stars are in the 4th spot, dropping down from spot number 2 with their loss the other night. 6-4 is their record, and they're a game and a half out of first. Then we have a little space back to the Old Pueblo Kings. They are 4-7. As I mentioned, they are on a 4-game losing streak. And then the Tucson Champs in 6th spot. They are 5 games out of first place at 3-8. And finally in the cellar in 7th spot, the Rincon Knights 2-8, and they are 5.5 games out. We have 3 winning streaks going, but we have 4 losing streaks going. And 2 of those losing streaks that they hope to break tonight will be the Old Pueblo Kings and the Rincon Knights games that will be played here shortly. Players to watch for on the Rincon Knights will be Alvaro Barnett. Barnett plays third base, and Mark Islas, who is the catcher. Looking at some of the names that pop out on the Old Pueblo Kings, it'll be Angel Ferris at second base. Behind the plate is Joseph Escarciga, Michael Romero, and Orlando Romero, and Troy Gutbub. We have the national anthem coming, and then we'll be back with the first pitch. Our national anthem from Kino, Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we're about ready to get underway with a featured game in the Sun Belt League. And on the visiting side, and this is something that is designated, we play all of our games here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium and the South Fields in a complex that was the spring training headquarters for the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies. So you can kind of put in your mind the quality of fields that are here. And not only that, but the director of operations here at the Kino Sports Complex, Maureen Ochoa, does a fine job keeping her great crew moving around and keeping these fields up to snuff. Looking at the starting lineup for the Rincon Knights, they'll be first up tonight. Alberto Nieto is in the first spot, followed by Leland Hausman playing second base. Ivan Gallego is the shortstop. Parker Collette in center field. Alvaro Barnett at third base. The designated hitter will be Edward Ryan. In left field will be Peyton Capullo. At first base, Wrigley McGuire. Dominic Erickson is behind the plate tonight, and the extra hitter will be Kenneth Markle. Taking a quick look at the starting lineup for the old Pueblo Kings. In the third base spot is Joseph Escariga. At shortstop is Angel Ferris. Second base will be Philip Dumas. At first base, Shane Shepard. Behind the plate, Jake Lialois. On the mound is Carlos Lopez. Checking the outfield, it'll be Cameron Kruger in left field tonight. He has normally been in right. Ivan Hostetler will be in center field. And number one, Jonah Lawton, will be out there in right field. So we're about ready to get underway. Carlos Lopez on the mound. We'd love to give you all kinds of statistics on what's going on here, but we have had a terrible time with our electronic statistics keeping program. The first pitch by Carlos Lopez catches the inside corner to Alberto Nieto, who, under our best recollection about games played here at Kino Stadium, he is batting .286. Now, that takes into account some of the games that were played out on the South Fields, but these numbers that I'm giving you just kind of give you a mild indication about what's going on in general. 1-1 count will give you the symmetrical measurements in the outfield. Today, more than normal, this pitch is down low for a ball, 2-1. Normally in the early going, the right side of the infield, first, second, and then the outfield, right field, have a little problem with the sun that kind of sneaks between the buildings and the superstructure here. This one wrapped sharply down to third base. Escarcega throws it high, but it is grabbed by Shane Shepard, who is probably about 6'4", and he gets his foot back down and able to get it onto the bag before the runner Nieto got there. So there's one out here in the top of the first inning. Leland Hausman stepping in there, batting .222. As we're just getting underway here in the top of the first inning, on another toasty warm day, this one lifted into left field. Going after it is Kroger. He has a long way to go, and he can't quite get his hand up and to reach it. The outfielders, for the most part here, play relatively shallow. And looking up on the scoreboard, they're going to give that a base hit. So it's going to be a double with one out here in the top of the first. Looking down the lines here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, 340. Straight away, left and right, 375. In the gaps, 390, and straight away, 405. Ivan Gallego, who has not had a hit here in the stadium, he may have had some elsewhere on the outlying fields. First pitch to him, down and in. Lialeos gets over there and keeps it in front of him. So that will be no advance from second base by Hausman. And we have a 1-0 count. Still the infielders on the right side having to fight off a little bit of sun here. A look back at second base, comes to the plate, catches that outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. Since we have a fixed camera and some areas of the field are not viewable, we have a tendency to do kind of a radio play-by-play here rather than a television kind of play-by-play. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on a ball that just dropped out of the strike zone, and the count goes to 1-2. Gallegos, the hitter, goes to Luna Community College. That is in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Nice job by Leoleos, who gets outside and blocks the ball to keep the runner still in check at second base. And it is a 2-2 count. Now, Gallego graduated from Desert View High School in the greater Tucson area, just graduated. So we do have quite a few seniors playing in this league along with freshmen and sophomores. Reaches down and taps it into right field, just foul. Generally, the league is made up of freshmen and sophomores from collegiate programs that did not get a lot of playing time in their collegiate program this past year. So college coaches send them towards these kinds of leagues that are spread all over the United States and Canada. The one thing that makes this league very unusual is all games are played right here, so there's no travel. That way you get quite a few games inside for a ball, and it'll go 3-2. That way you get all kinds of games in before the day before kids have to report back to college. So they get a little bit of a rest, and college coaches find that to be very positive for their players overall rather than playing all year long. Reaches out and taps it down the third baseline. It'll roll foul as Escasiga gets a hold of it and makes sure it doesn't roll back into fair territory. As you probably know, the ball is called fair or foul depending on where it is when it passes over the first and third base bag. On occasion, you see something happen where a ball will be fouled down like that, and then all of a sudden will tick a little pot of dirt or something like that, and all of a sudden roll back fair territory. And the other way can happen. This field has a pretty narrow edge from the grass to the foul line, so if that ball gets up on the grass there, the ball does get away from the catcher, and no time to throw to third base to get the runner there. The ball was down and low, and so it will be a walk, and runners are on first and second with check that first and third with only one out here in the top of the first inning. The batter is Parker Collette. Parker in the stadium here tonight. He's playing center field in the stadium. His batting average has been rather dismal, 143. Again, our system is having problems. The runner goes. The batter is around to bunt. He bunts one just in front of him to kind of protect himself. The ball was right at his chest. Getting out to pick it up was Leoleos, and he threw it to the first baseman for the second out. Possibly they were hoping for a delayed play at the plate, but since it was right there, the runner on third, Houseman, had absolutely no possibility of breaking towards the plate. The idea there is to get the ball farther out so it takes a little bit more time to throw to first, and the runner on third will try to come home. This one lifted to right center field, dropping back as Demas. Coming in on him is the center fielder, and a miscommunication there, and the ball will be dropped and 2 runs will come in. It is the center fielder's ball the entire way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And sometimes when you don't have an opportunity to do as much practicing in a summer league like this, they get mixed up like that, and that really, really is very troubling. And in this case, brought in 2 runs. So right away, the Rincon Knights, trying to break a 7-game losing streak, are on the board 2-0. That'll bring up Edward Ryan. He's the designated hitter. Pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. Ryan in the stadium so far batting .200. Once again, I don't mean to beat this into the ground, but that's just his record here in the stadium. Runner on first and 2 outs. An error in the outfield cost 2 runs. Pitch is way outside. The throw down to first base by Leoleos Shepard couldn't hang on to it, but don't think he would have had him anyway. And we have 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the 6th batter in the lineup. He'll be followed by Peyton Capulla, who is on deck at the moment. Still Sun challenging the right side of the infield, way outside. Lealeos gets all the way out there and grabs hold of it to make sure it doesn't go through. And the runner remains at first base. 2 balls and a strike, 2 in here, top of the first inning. Carlos Lopez at the set. The runner goes. The throw down to second base is not quite in time. So a stolen base there, and the pitch was a ball. So a runner in scoring position with a 3-1 count. First base obviously open now. Way outside, and that is a walk, so that'll put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Top of the first inning, 2 runs across on an outfield error. Peyton Capulla is the left fielder. Wrigley McGuire is the on-deck hitter, the first baseman for the Rincon Knights. This one swiped and hit towards right field. A long run for Loughton to get to it, but it goes foul. Whenever a left-handed, check that, a right-handed hitter hits to the opposite field, the ball is generally spinning towards the foul line. And as Jonah headed that way, the ball kept going farther and farther away from him. Off-speed pitch catches the corner on the inside part of the plate, and Capulla finds himself in the hole 0-2. Couple of outs, 2 runs in, runners on first and second. Rincon Knights in the field. Swiped at and missed, but they'll get the out at first base, and that will be the first strikeout for Carlos Lopez, and the 3rd out of the inning to settle things down here, but not before a couple of runs come across, and those runs came across only on the strength of 1 hit. O'Reilly Chevrolet would like to let you know about their 95th annual anniversary tent sale. It is one heck of a sale. It goes on all month long. What savings? You can save up to 20% off of MSRP on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on the lot. Yeah, the sale goes on all month, but to get the very best selection, head on over to 6160 East Broadway. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. See anything on the VU, so hopefully this is going to solve it. Cameron Kroger will lead it off. He'll be followed by Angel Ferris and Jake Lialios. On the mound is Ben Teague, and we'll check the infield for you here in just a second. First pitch is swung on and missed. Kroger comes into the ballgame batting .370. We have Barnett at third, Gallego at short, Hausman at second, and McGuire at first. Just barely inside for a 1-1 count. Left field we have Capullo. Center field is Collette, and right field is Nieto. Behind the plate is Erickson. This one wrapped down to the shortstop. Nice backhanded grab by Gallegos, and he gets it over to first base for the out. First out here in the bottom of the first inning. The old Pueblo Kings on a 4-game losing streak, trying to break out of that, but they did not get off to a very good start. The defense kind of let them down because 2 runs came in on an outfield error with 2 outs, which meant, of course, the runners were just going. They didn't care what was happening. And as it turned out, both of them scored. First pitch to Ferris is high and away. Angel is playing shortstop tonight. He bounces back and forth between short and second. In the stadium, he has a .455 batting average. Next one is way outside, and it's 2-0. This is the first time we've seen Ben Teague on the mound. That doesn't mean that he hasn't been active in the South Fields. I explained a little bit earlier about our problems with the cumulative stats. The stats are all out there on the cloud somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't get them because I don't have a cloud in the sky right here. Oh, I guess it's a different cloud. Sorry. You can stop booing. I mean, really, please. This one swung on, hit down to the right side. It's going to go into foul territory. Now it swings back into fair territory, and doing a little ziggy-zaggy dance out there was Wrigley McGuire, who finally picked it off as Ferris was swinging 3-0. So second out, and nobody has gotten onto base, and Jake Lialeos, the catcher, is up there. Jake in the stadium this year batting .300. Mercifully, the first baseman and second baseman now are in the shade. Pitch is high. Well, it looks like McGuire still has to put up with a little bit of sunlight over there. Maybe that's why he had to dance around so much to get under that pop fly. Next pitch swinging, missed it. Generally not a lot of scouting in this league, so the outfielders generally play pretty much squared away and mildly shallow. This one lifted to right field, but it looks like Nieto has been camping under it all evening long and gathers it in for 3 up and 3 down. So in the the bottom of the first inning, nothing across, and after 1 full inning of play, it is 2 for the Kings and 2 for the Knights and nothing for the Kings. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is just not something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With Stop and Go Driving School's expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver's education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Okay, thank you. This pitcher has a very strange motion. He's kind of like stiff arm pushes the ball up there. And the third baseman, even in warm-ups, never sets his feet to throw to first. It's amazing. Ready to go for the top of the second inning with the Rincon Knights on the lead 2-0 on an outfield error. This will be Wrigley McGuire. Swings at the first pitch, kind of a low off-speed pitch, and just fouls it at the plate. Carlos Lopez out there for his second inning of work. He threw 22 pitches in the first inning and has given up one hit. McGuire will be followed by Erickson and Markle as we go 8, 9, 10, way outside for a ball 1-1. Well, the sun has gone behind the bleachers along the left field side. That is the west facing or backing, however you want to put it. That one slides outside, 2-1. Lights are on, but they have not taken over here as yet. Still have a ways to go for the sun to set. High and away for ball 3. That's the third time in now 8 batters that Lopez has gone to a 3-ball count. 3-1, 3-2. Right down Main Street for a called strike. Three and two. Fouled off to the left side. It'll reach the seats over there, so we'll go to pitch number 7 of the at-bat. Wrigley gets a walk. Probably having, he shouldn't have too much trouble adjusting to the summers around here. He graduated from South Point High School, but he goes to Williston State, and that is in Williston, North Dakota. Can you say cold during the winter? Not very seriously. It gets that much warmer during the summer, although it might be humid. A lot of those upper Midwest locations have that. Around to bunt is the batter, Dominic Erickson. He's the catcher. Takes the pitch out of the strike zone very wisely. That's one thing that's very difficult to get a young hitter to understand. You only bunt the strike. Heck, you'll take a walk right here. All you're trying to do is get a runner over to second. 1-0 count. Around to bunt again. And once again, Lopez misses outside. He's gone to a 3-2 count. He's gone to a 3-1 count. He went to a 3-2 count and walked the batter. He has walked 3 so far. Lopez at the set. Around to bunt once again, high and away, and to 3 balls. I think as a manager I might keep the bunt sign on here, but tell the batter don't even look at it if it's not right down the pipe. 3-0. Around to bunt once again, inside corner for a called strike. McGuire, the leadoff hitter in the top of the second inning, drew a walk. And now Dominic Erickson with a 3-1 count up there. So far, Lopez has walked 3. Around to bunt once again. Outside corner. And boy, that does nothing but tick off an umpire when you toss the bat aside and say, oh, that was ball 4. And especially, Mr. Erickson, as a catcher, you don't even want to upset the umpire. Behind the plate is David Trinidad tonight. This one is down low, and so another walk given up by the starting pitcher for the Kings. So that will necessitate a little conversation. Nobody is warming up in the bullpen. David Trinidad is behind the plate. And out on the bases tonight, Charlie Lujan. Charlie is here frequently. We haven't seen Mr. Trinidad for a week or so. But that doesn't mean that they aren't active in the South Fields. We have 3 games scheduled every night, one here in Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. and then 2 out in the practice fields, if you will. But they are certainly not kept up as practice fields. A beautiful facility here. First and second. And we'll get a pinch runner at first. That's William Bess. They'll do pinch runners for the catchers, so that speeds the game along a little bit in that you don't have to wait for the catcher to get his gear on because he was out on the bases. A couple of little rules that they have in this league to try to speed things along. And now we do have some activity in the bullpen for the Pueblo Kings, old Pueblo. If you're from out of the area, that's what they refer to this area. First pitch inside for a strike as Kenneth Markle is around to bunt. So Bess is the runner on first base to get the catcher off the base paths. 0-1 pitch, late swing, and it's 0-2. Markle with a .273 batting average here in the stadium this year. He is the 10th man in the order. Yes, you do have 10 in this league. And then we'll go to the top of the order, Nieto. Swung on and fouled off to the left side. This one lifted into left center field on his horse is Kruger. He can't reach it. It goes over his head. The base runners had to hold up, but the runner will more than likely score from second base. The throw to third not in time, and another run comes in. This is a 2-strike, nobody out double. And that will score McGuire from second. Both runners kind of had to hold up because it looked like Kruger might get to it. This is the second time that the left fielder for the Kings has not quite been able to get his hands on the fly ball out there. And that will bring up the top of the order. First pitch swinging, foul just outside the bag at third. Nieto in the first inning grounded out to the third baseman Escarcega. So 2 runners in scoring position, 1 in here, 3-0 in favor of the Knights. This one out to left field, drifting back for it is Kruger. This one he has in his sights, but it is deep enough that the run will score from third base, and that will pocket the 4th run of the ball game. 2 in the first and now 2 here so far in the second with only 1 out. It's going to be a sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Nieto, and that will bring up the second baseman, Leland Hausman. Hausman got a double in the first inning, went to third base on a wild pitch, and came home on an outfield error when Barnett was at the bat. First pitch is a called strike. Runner on second base, 2 in, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. And as I mentioned, we do have some activity in the bullpen. This one slapped foul right side this time. And Hausman is behind 0-2. Warming up out in the bullpen is number 7. That's Travis Cole. So Travis is listed as a pitcher and a third baseman. Saharo High School graduate of 2018, goes to Christian Brothers University. Not exactly sure where that is. We might have an opportunity to look that up. The ball in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big swing by Hausman, dipping down low to try to pick it off the ground. And that will be the first strikeout. Check that, the second strikeout for Lopez. And 2 outs will be here in the top of the second inning. Ivan Gallegos was the first walk. Memphis, Tennessee is where the young man is attending school. Fouled off to the left side. Well, you can go down there and get an education and maybe become a country music star. What do you think? 0-1 pitch, a couple of outs here, top of the second inning. That one down low, 1-1. Carlos has had a bit of a problem locating pitches here. Of course, he didn't get any help in the first inning. An outfield error cost 2 runs with 2 outs. Outside, looked at hard. They'll check with the base umpire, Charlie Lujan, and he says no, he didn't go. So the count is going to go to 2-1. Waved at and missed, down and away, 2-2. Now, Carlos has only given up 2 base hits, but he's got 4 walks on the evening so far, along with a couple of strikeouts, but he's 4 runs down. The 2 runs in the first inning were unearned. This one hit sharply towards center field. It'll drop in front of Hostetler. They'll send the runner from third. The ball is cut off, and the runner will score. So Gallegos gets himself a base hit. A soft line drive to center field. And that will bring around Markle. Obviously, he didn't have to worry one bit about whether the ball was caught because there were 2 outs. So a third run across here in the top of the second inning. Parker Collette, the center fielder, first time at the bat, he nubbed one out towards the pitcher Lopez, who got it over to first for the out. Into twilight time here in Tucson, Arizona. The lights are on. This one fouled back to the screen. And Mr. Collette finds himself in a hole 0-2. The pitcher Lopez had Hausman in the hole 0-2 and struck him out. The other strikeout was again an 0-2 pitch. Way outside, nice job by Leos to get out there and grab it. So there's no advance from first base. Ivan Gallego, the shortstop, with an RBI single. Prior to that, a couple of walks cost Lopez. Fouled off to the left side here. Kind of a picturesque time of the evening here in Tucson. We don't have any clouds to bounce the sun off of to get any kind of a sunset here, although there might be cloud activity to the west of us, which is out of our view. At the set, 1-2, way outside. Leos does his job and gets out there and gets a hold of it. Keeps the runner away from scoring position, and the count goes 2-2. To continue the thought about the picturesqueness of this, the twilight outlines the Catalina Mountains over the left field fence as the count goes full, and this will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat, 3-2. 22 pitches in the first inning turned in by Lopez, and probably close to an equal number here. The runner underway, the swing and a miss, and the third strikeout will be recorded. Also the third out of the inning. But once again, 3 come across, and after 1.5, the score is 5-2. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They are the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. Now, one of their customers, John, was nice enough to send note in here. It said that dealing with Goliath Auto Sales was the most painless deal that he ever had buying a car, and he would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value-priced, affordable vehicles, make sure you check out Goliath Auto Sales. Come on, turn the damn music off. Why does he have to leave it on? He knows I've gotten problems. To the bottom of the second inning, we had 1-2-3 in the first for the old Pueblo Kings, and the first pitch thrown by Ben Teague is a ball. He had 9 pitches in the first inning, obviously no hits because 3 up and 3 down. So the Knights find themselves behind here, ahead here rather, I'm sorry. The hit out towards the shortstop, picks it up and fires to first. Nice stretch by McGuire, and Gallegos gets the out 6-3. The old Pueblo Knights have a 5-3 lead here, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. The Kings yet to be on the board. First pitch is a ball. At bat is Orlando Romero, who in the stadium this year has a .400 batting average. Pitch is outside to him, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Big swing and a miss, nothing but air there, 2-1. Orlando is out of Tucson High School a couple of years ago. Another big swing and a miss. Has the same birth date as my sister. Back in the day, you could get away with not doing anything about Christmas until the 19th of December, which was the rule in our household, but nowadays they start Christmas in July. Fouled off to the right side. Had a stepdaughter with December 26, have a grandson with December 26, so tough time to have a birthday. 2-2 count at the set. Outside will go 3-2. Teague had a 3-0 count in the first inning to Angel Ferris, who was turned loose 3-0 and popped it up to the first baseman McGuire. So we'll go 3-2 here. This one wrapped foul just barely down the right side. And it will travel its way. Well, I guess it didn't get in fair territory, so they'll leave it out there for the moment. So the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up, nobody on. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. This one lifted high on the right side. Over to look at it is Erickson, also over the first baseman, McGuire, but it bounces about 5 feet into the dugout on the right side. Came bouncing out of there, and a gentleman sitting in the stands, just sitting there casually, reached up and grabbed it. This one fouled to the left side. Going to have to call baseballs are us, see if they deliver. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. 2-2. Oh, excuse me, it was 3-2. Missed, and that'll be a walk. So Teague records his first walk on the evening in only facing his fourth batter. Ivan Hostetler will be up there. Hostetler's had a very nice time offensively here in the stadium. .429 is his batting average. Ivan is one of the 6 players locally and in the league here that go to Presentation College in Aberdeen, South Dakota. A lot of these players have connections with northern schools, and it's kind of a smile on my face wondering how they make the adjustment from warm and sunny southern Arizona to minus 32 degrees or maybe even warmer, all the way up to minus 26 in the wintertime anyway. Kind of a half-hearted move to first base just to let Orlando Romero know that Teague knew he was over there. Hostetler, center fielder tonight for the Knights, or excuse me, the Kings. Outside corner for a call, strike 1 and 2. So the Kings up to bat right now have dug themselves a 5-0 hole after 2 innings. Way high, 2-2 goes the count. The runner on first base, Orlando Romero, had a 2-2 count. Then he worked the 9th pitch of the at-bat to finally draw a walk into the dirt. And for the second batter in a row, Teague will go 3-2. Shane Shepard, the first baseman, is the next hitter. Waves at it outside, and it'll be the first strikeout for Teague in the ball game. So that'll work it up to 2 outs with the runner on first and Shane Shepard, who may be batting a ton out in the outfield or in the outer fields, but here in the stadium, struggling just a bit. Top of the third, the Cochise Stars lead Team Tucson 2-0. And the top of the second, it is the league leading Aztecs 7-0 over Tucson Champs. Aztecs got off to a 6-0 start. The last 6 games they were only 4-2, but they've remained on top of the standings. First pitch to Shepard, off speed down low for a ball. So all of a sudden, Teague, who blew through the first inning with only 9 pitches, is struggling a bit here in the second. That was his 20th pitch. And it's a 1-1 count. 1-1 to the plate. High and away, 2-1. No activity in either bullpen, although there are players kind of lounging around out in the visitors' bullpen, the Knights. This one high and away, and Teague is struggling here. Three and one, 2 outs. Popped up high on the left side. Barnett, keeping an eye on it, struggling, comes off of his glove for an error. Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt here from the standpoint that it is a very high twilight sky, and that has got to be one of the hardest to look up into and try to track down a ball. However, probably should have gotten that, or at least had 2 hands up there, Boy, that's one thing about the modern baseball player. They are big on one-handed catches. I don't know if it might have helped out in that particular situation, but the ball did not come out of his glove that much. Jonah Layton is the right fielder, and he's up there for the first time. First time swinging is a swinging strike. Romero is over on second base now. Quite frankly, had it not been 2 outs where Romero just could have taken off, they probably could have gotten him at second base because the ball did not bounce that far away from Barnett. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, runners on first and second, one in scoring position, obviously. The play at second base, very close, and got a little bit of a rise out of the Knights dugout, kibitzing just a little bit. The count is 0-1. We have 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, nothing across. And the Knights struggling to get out from underneath a 5-0 hole. Swinging strike 0-2 now. Jack McDonald is the on-deck hitter. 0-2. Down low, missed it. Certainly don't want to give an 0-2 batter something to really look at, so you'd like to bounce it or throw an off-speed curve that winds up off the plate or anything to keep him away from putting too much too close. Sure appreciate you being with us tonight. Hope that you're having a pleasant evening. And wherever you are, hope your week is off to a good start. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the plate, misses down low, 2-2 now. Sure don't want to go 3-2. That'll give the runners an opportunity to take off. This one hit down towards the second baseman, Hossman. Hossman will go to first for the out, and that will end the inning. Nothing across for the old Pueblo Kings. And after 2 full innings of play, it is the Rincon Knights 5 and the Pueblo Kings 0. Come see the difference. Well, I think we already talked about Goliath Automobiles, did we not? Yes, we did. I didn't turn my card. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's talk about the sponsoring team for the Rincon Knights. Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goal do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of Rincon Financial Group is ready to focus on your needs, wants, and financial goals. Lopez. I mean, Teague has 55 now? No, Lopez has got 55. He's got 37 here and has given up no hits. To the top of the third inning, Alvera Barnett, Edward Ryan, and Peyton Capullo. First pitch swinging, misses at first base. Shortstop Angel Ferris took a little bit too long to get it out of his glove there. And I think that they're going to give that an infield hit. They do, in fact, give that as a base hit. So that'll put a runner on at the top of the first inning here with nobody out, and Edward Ryan stepping in. Ryan got a walk in the first inning. Coming into this inning, the pitcher, Carlos Lopez, has thrown 55 pitches. Down low with that one to Edward Ryan, who is the designated hitter. Ryan is another one of these players that came from a local high school, Marana High School graduate in 2008. The runner goes, or starts to go, pitch swinging to Hostetler in center, but it looks like he's camping underneath it and gets the out there. So that'll be the first out of the inning. To finish up the thought on Edward Ryan, he graduated from Marana High School, but he goes to Briarcliff University, and that is in Sioux City, Iowa. So I just kind of wonder what kind of a shock the first winter when these kids are out of the area or out of the Tucson area where it's nice and toasty most of the time. Peyton Capullo came into the ball game batting .250 and moved to first and not in time. Peyton struck out as the last out in the first inning, in which the Knights chalked up 2. They came right back with 3 in the second inning, so they're up 5-0 with 1 out here in the top of the third and a runner on first. Breaking pitch just catches the inside corner for a called strike. Wrigley McGuire, the first baseman, is the on-deck hitter. He led off the second inning with a walk and ultimately came around to score. Moved to first once again, not in time. We'll check on some of the scores in the outlying areas here in just a second, the south fields as they call them. Runner goes, pitch, swung on and hit right at the second baseman, who the only reason he was where he was at was because the runner was moving. So a line out to the second baseman and then unassisted on the tag out. And boy, I tell you what, that couldn't have been any worse if they'd have tried. 3 up and 3 down. But as I said, the only reason that the line drive did not go through is because the runner was in motion and the second baseman, Demas, was going over to the bag to cover, and the ball went right to him. And, of course, since the runner was on his horse to begin with, he ran right into the second out in the double play. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwich in just 30 seconds. You get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by a store, or you can order online if that's more convenient. Order online at jimmyjohns.com. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the inning here for the Kings. This would be the bottom of the third, is 9, 10, and then up to 1. Jack McDonald is the batter. This is his first time up. First pitch swinging, fouls it off to the right side. Huh. This one down low and bounces away. 1-1 count to Jack McDonald. He is the extra hitter tonight.
You didn't flip this because this is Dominic, Jack, okay.
Benjamin Teague out there. He had a little bit of a rough second inning in which he threw 26 pitches, 37 total. This one stroked out towards Hausman at second and through. So the Kings will start off the bottom of the third, getting their first batter on, and that will bring up Philip Demas. Demas struggling a little bit here at the stadium, and those are the only statistics that we have, 143. He might be batting 9,000 in the south fields, but our electronic system has chosen to be a little grouchy, and even though the individual play-by-play information comes around, a bunt down the first baseline rolls foul. The statistics are floating around somewhere on the cloud, and we get the play-by-play statistics being recorded by the different scorekeepers, not only here at Kino Stadium but out in the south fields. But for some reason, the merger between two companies just before our season started somehow or other threw the cumulative stats out the window. High and inside for a ball. Alvaro Barnett is on the grass from third base. Of course, holding against the runner is McGuire at first. Middle infielders Gallego and Hausman are at double play depth. Outfielders pretty much straight away. Floating high ball, and Demas went after it, couldn't get it. The right fielder Nieto is relatively deep, and on the other hand, the center fielder Colette is about where he should be, as is Capullo in left field. This one hit down towards Hausman, and he boots it. It rolls into shallow right field, and I don't think McDonald realized that the ball had rolled that far away, so it would be an error on the second baseman, and that will move McDonald over to second. Still nobody out in the bottom of the third, so the Kings have something going here. They are working very hard to try to break a 4-game losing streak, and on the other side, the Rincon Knights are trying to break a 7-game losing streak. We go to the top of the order. Cameron Kruger, who grounded out to the shortstop Gallego in the first inning, moved to second base, and they got him. So the first out of the inning erases a runner in scoring position. Now that was a timed play. It was not something that he whirled around and got him. First pitch to Kroger is a called strike. The way that timing play goes, without regard to where the signal comes from, and normally it will come from the catcher because he has everything in front of him. So the signal is put down, and then the pitcher and the shortstop or second baseman, whoever is assigned to the coverage, begins to count. And generally the count goes to 3. The runner goes from first base, and this is a high fly ball to right field, and that will send the runner back to first. Over to get it is Nieto, and that will be a fly out to right field for the second out of the inning. To continue the thought about the pickoff play, generally the count is 3. The pitcher never looks back at second base and counts to himself 1001, 1002, 1003, about the same time that the shortstop is on the same count. And then all of a sudden everybody moves, and if you're at second base and not paying real close attention, you can get picked off just like McDonald was there. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner to Angel Ferris. Ferris, the shortstop tonight, popped out to the first baseman, Wrigley McGuire. It's a good thing that McGuire had his dancing shoes on because he was twisting and turning around, having to contend with the small amount of sun that was coming through the stands and a very high sky. But ultimately he tracked it down. This pitch is a breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate and a called strike 2. Angel in the stadium this season is batting .455. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit lower now that he is 0 for 1 and down 0-2 here. At the set, the runner with a relatively decent lead at first goes. The throw down to second base is towards the right field side, and the runner does a fine job of sliding around Phil Demas, and he has himself a stolen base. The pitch was high and away, and I've said many times before that sometimes when you have an 0-2 count and a runner on the bases, that's a great time to go, because generally the pitcher is not going to lay one right across the plate. They're either going to throw an off-speed pitch or maybe even bounce one in the dirt. So nice timing on that. However, there are 2 outs, and the pitch is down low, so our count will even out at 2-2. Angel, one of the 6 going to Presentation College. He is out of Pueblo High School in the southern Arizona area around the greater Tucson. Need to take your mucklucks with you when you go up there. Breaking pitch sails high, and the count will go 3-2. First base is open, so a pitcher such as Benjamin Teague on the mound right now doesn't need to give in, because if you walk him, there's really not that much damage. Teague has walked 1 tonight so far. Comes to the plate, big golf swing and a miss. 3rd out of the inning, 2nd strikeout for Teague, and that will end the bottom of the 3rd inning. So after 3 full, even though the Kings started off with what looked like a promising inning, came away empty. There was 1 hit during the inning, and that's the total that the Kings have gotten so far in the game. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and 2-room suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, and in-room safe. You can watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen TV. Many rooms have patio doors opening to a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay, Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites. Wrigley McGuire, the 8th place hitter, will start it off here in the top of the 4th inning. Carlos Lopez throws the pitch, and it is driven deep to center field. Hostetler roaming around and can't get his glove on it, and that will be more than likely a first at-bat double here for McGuire. I will say this for the Rincon Knights, who have lost 7 in a row. They're getting a lot of support from their bench. A lot of times when you're on a losing streak like that, why everything is quiet over on the bench, but give credit to the manager of the Rincon Knights that he's got his club involved. Well, a no-out double puts a runner on scoring position, and around a bunt, just barely spins away, and let's see whether they call that a foul ball or not. Dominic Erickson was around to bunt. The ball was high and tight and apparently did not hit him, nor did it hit his bat. So the wild pitch will take the runner McGuire over to third, and 90 feet away, lots of ways to get him in from third base, especially with nobody out. Outside corner called strike. Dominic is a 2019 graduate from Saharo High School. This one wrapped back through the middle. The shortstop does a fine job of getting over there and getting it, and Ferris spins and throws to first base, and we'll put a star on that one because Angel Ferris went a long ways to his left, grabbed the ball, spun around, set his feet, and threw, but unfortunately there was a runner only 90 feet away, and that scores another run for the Rincon Knights, as they are up by a score of 6-0 now. That brings up Kenneth Markle. Markle got a double and came around to score in the second inning. He looks at the first pitch as a strike. Well, let's see if they're going to let him go to first. He made little effort to get out of the way of the ball. Carlos Lopez has a very interesting throwing motion in which he almost pushes the ball up there. That will carry us up to the top of the order. This is the right fielder, Alberto Nieto. Nieto had a sacrifice fly in the second inning that scored a run and grounded out to the third baseman Escarciga in the first inning. First pitch swinging, fouled off to the left side for a strike, 0-1. Well, I hope the rhythmic music does not get a copyright ban. 0-1. At the set is Lopez. He came into the inning throwing 60 pitches. He only threw 5 in the third inning. Gave up 1 hit there, but it was a line drive to the second baseman on a hit and run. So not only did he get the line drive served right up to him, but he also had the runner come right at him. Ferris to second for 1, to first base, thrown out and away, and that will move the runner to second base. So Angel did a fine job of getting over there and getting the out to second base, but the second baseman will throw it wide to first base, and the error on the second baseman will move the runner over to second. We have 2 outs, runner in scoring position, 1 run across top of the fourth inning, and Leland Hausman will be the hitter. He got a double in the first inning and came around to score, but struck out in the second, dances away from an inside pitch, and did not dance quite far enough and got hit. So 2 runners on now, first and second. That is the second hit batsman for Lopez. This one lifted to left center field. On his horse is Kroger. It's going to fall in, and another run will score. The runner slides into second base with a double and an RBI. So that brings around the runner, and it looks like we'll have a pitching change. See, this is the killer right now. I've turned down the monitor, but doggone it. I'll be really interested to see if we don't get something going here. Who's the pitcher? Do we know yet? Oh, turn around, buddy. 7. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Are you having a good time doodling? Nothing else? Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. Cole comes in the top of the fourth with 2 outs. Parker Collette will step in. He'll be the first batter that Travis Cole, the new relief pitcher, will be facing here. Collette grounded back to the pitcher in the first inning and then struck out. One of 3 strikeouts achieved by Lopez, who is now seated. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. So it's Travis Cole is now in at pitching. We don't have any other defensive changes that we know about, at least at this time. 2 runs across here in the top of the 4th inning. Inside corner for a called strike. There are 2 outs in the inning. We have runners at second and third. We saw Cole earlier in a game. He did very well. I don't have statistics on it. Outside, the catcher bounces after it, and there is no runner advance. Very dark sky tonight. I can't tell whether we have overcast or whether the stars have just decided not to come out. Oh, they decided to go away and hide from us. Okay, I got it. 1 ball and 2 strikes at the set. Comes to the plate. This is lined softly into right field and just foul. Well, with 2 outs, anything like that would score 2. Seven runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors on the board for the Rincon Knights. The Kings, only 1 hit. They've got a couple errors. And one of those errors was costly enough to bounce 2 runs across for the Knights. First base is open. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Down low, 2-2. Lots of noise coming out of the Rincon Knights dugout, which is really very, very pleasing, quite frankly, because they have lost 7 in a row, and a lot of times when you're on a losing streak like that, players have a tendency to get quiet and cash things in. Inside, almost kneecapped him, and a 3-2 count. Runners will stay in place because there's no need for them to take off here. Parker, one of the 5 players from Williston State in Williston, North Dakota. Big swing, finds nothing. End of the inning. But 2 more come across, and it is 7-0 at the end of 3.5 innings of play. Firestone Complete Auto Care Service is your go-to tire shop in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in-store. There are 5 locations. Pick the one closest to you in the 2400 block of North First, 3501 East Broadway, 290 West Wetmore Road, 4800 East Sunrise, or 7950 East Speedway. Well, anywhere you go, actually, for Firestone Complete Auto Care, you will not be disappointed. pitcher. Never mind. I'm going to make up a chart for you on this. Okay, bottom 5, top 4. Love your 8. All right, so the Kings will try to get something going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They'll send up 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order. First pitch to the catcher, Jake Lialeos, is a ball. He'll be followed by Joseph Escarcega and Orlando Romero. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Teague has thrown 53 pitches, has not given up but 1 hit. He's walked 1 and struck out 2. 1-1 pitch ready to go. Hit down towards the third baseman, Barnett. Up with it, double pump, but gets it over to first in time for the out. First out of the bottom of the 4th inning. Checking the games on the south fields. In the bottom of the 5th inning, it's the Cochise Stars 3-2 over Team Tucson. And the Tucson champs trailing the Aztecs by a 10-8 count. This will bring up Joseph Escarcega. He is the third baseman tonight. We've seen him behind the plate. We've seen him at first base, and I think even in the outfield somewhere along the line. He came into the game batting .370, went fishing for that one and missed. In the 2nd inning, he grounded out to Gallegos at shortstop. So this is his 2nd at-bat. Starts off with that open stance, but then does a good job of stepping towards the mound. 2nd pitch swinging and misses it. Benjamin Teague on the mound. Dominic Erickson behind the plate. Infielders are all back. Waved at a pitch way outside and missed that. So that will be the 3rd strikeout turned in by Teague here. The infield of Barnett, Gallegos at short, Hausman at 2nd, and McGuire at 1st. Looking at the outfield, Capullo in left, Collette in center, and Nieto in right. That will bring up Orlando Romero. Orlando walked on the 9th pitch of the at-bat in the 2nd inning. Looks at the first pitch ball. That is the only walk that has been given up this evening by Teague. Floats a little bit high, and the count goes to 2-0. Nobody on, bottom of the 4th inning. The Kings trying to get something going here. The Knights are leading 7-0. And we're in the bottom of the 4th. Slider misses outside, and the count will go to 3-0. The Kings had a runner in scoring position in the 2nd inning with 1 out. They had a runner in scoring position in the 3rd inning with 1 out and unable to bring him around. So a 4-pitch walk, 2nd walk given up by Teague. And that will bring the center fielder Ivan Hofstadler up there. Hofstadler struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. At the letters for a called strike. Hofstadler from Saharo High School here in the greater Tucson area down south. And he is one of the 6 on this team that goes to Aberdeen, South Dakota for college. Hammered down towards the third base side and foul. Barnett up there to grab it, but it was foul, and the count goes 0-2 to Ivan with 2 outs here and a runner on first base. 0-2 is a great time to take off. We'll see what happens here. Generally, your pitcher is going to throw an off-speed pitch or a pitch off the plate, and especially difficult for a catcher to get to. Of course, if you throw that fastball off the plate, it's almost easy pickings to get somebody going to second. We'll watch what happens. Runner stays home, pitches sliced off to the right side, probably going to make the stands over there. Alberto Nieto over there to take a long, hard look at it. Had quite a long run. Most of this field is padded, and there is padding along the facing of the stands in the right field side, but still going that fast, and the padding is only about 3 inches thick. Outside, the ball gets away, and that'll send a runner down to scoring position. One ball and 2 strikes. A runner out at second. However, there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hammered at the plate and foul. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. And the more pitches that a batter can look at, better opportunity they have to figure out what's going on. Collette has shortened up in center field on the possibility that they have a play at the plate on an outfield hit. Down and away, 2-2. Actually, Capullo in left field is shortened up just a bit, but very deep in right is Nieto. Two balls and 2 strikes set to go. First base open, runner in scoring position. This one wrapped into center field. Let's see if shortening up out there does anything, and unfortunately, the ball goes through Collette, and the runner is rounding second. He's headed to third, and they're sending him home, and he will score standing up. So what we've got to give that basically is a base hit, which it certainly was that. Collette tried to come in and grab the ball on the first hop and throw it home to try to cut off the run heading home. But in doing so, in my opinion, he took his eye off the ball, and that will be an error on the center fielder, and that's how the run winds up scoring all the way around, and 2 runs come in to score. This one lifted high to center field, drifting back as Collette, still going back, and it's over his head, and takes a high hop off the scoreboard, and sliding into second base. I shouldn't say sliding, just kind of easing into second with a 2-out double is Shane Shepard. So the first run is considered to be an RBI, and the second one will not. So Hostetler gets himself an RBI on a play that was misplayed in the outfield, and that will bring up Jonah Lawton. Lawton grounded off to Hausman in the first inning. Check that in the second inning. First pitch to him is a called strike. Well, a little bit of a payback here because an outfield error created 2 runs for the Knights in the top of the first inning. Pitch is on the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-2 with a runner at second and 2 outs. A walk and a base hit and an error bring in 2. Big swing and a strikeout. The play at first base, and that gets him out there. And the inning ends, but not before 2 come across. So the Kings are on the board, and they are on the board on the strength of 2 base hits for a total of 3 to this point. When you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, go to Chewy's Mesquite Broiler on East 22nd and Kalb. Now, Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they are there to satisfy. Chewy's on 22nd is open until 10 o'clock on weeknights and Sundays, till 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, decor, and drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Kalb. Teague, yeah. Check the picture for me, please. Okay, thank you. What? Oh, okay, thank you. We've got Kroger in left, Hostetler in center, and Lawton in right. So anybody else out there? Set to go here with the top of the fifth inning, as the Knights got two in the top of the fourth, but they gave back two in the bottom of the fourth, and our count is 7-2 right now. Travis Cole starts the inning with a ball. Alvaro Barnett, the third baseman, is the leadoff hitter in the inning. Just catches the inside corner for a called strike. Barnett thought he needed the U to get out of there, but apparently it just caught that corner. Okay, check it out. One ball and one strike. Hit him in the back. That draws a big rise out of the Rincon Knights. And I've mentioned before that they are very, very boisterous and positive tonight, and that is really a good sign considering the fact that they've lost 7 in a row. Edwin Ryan will step in there. He came into the ball game batting 200 here in the stadium. He took a walk in the first inning, but then flew out to center field in the third.
They've changed their outfield completely.
Well, see what you can track down. On the knees inside, Ryan, with his body language, didn't indicate that he thought that that was correct. Made some defensive changes in the outfield, and so we're going to have to try to pick that up. Throw to first, almost got away. Fortunately, Shane Shepard blocked it. That would have moved a runner over to second for sure. Baseball's being delivered out to the umpire here. Umpires have to have very strong hands, especially home plate umpires, because it's their job to rub up the baseballs with what they call baseball dirt, to rough them up just a little bit before they come out. Had 3 dozen balls in there. Down low, nice job by the catcher to keep it in front of him, and the count goes to 1-1.
They moved him over here. But I don't know who. There's 2 of them listed. I think it's Julian.
1-1 count. Runner on first, nobody out. Had a notion on the slider, held up, but he was rung up as a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll try to set that outfield for you defensively. Generally, about the middle of the game is when they make wholesale changes.
And then number 14, Jack.
This one outside for a ball, and the count will go to 2-2.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
It looks like Julian Guru Harvey has moved to left field. Kyle Riviera is in center field, and Cameron Kroger, who started the game in left field, has moved over to right. That's where we normally see him. So making some changes, moved to first base, down low, but held on to by Shane Shepard, the first baseman. One thing that these managers around here are charged with is getting enough at-bats for the collegiate players that are sent their way. This is a semi-instructional league. Hit sharply towards Ferris's right. He knocks the ball down but cannot get up with it and record an out anywhere. Angel did an excellent job of charging hard to his right and knocking the ball down and keeping it in the infield. However, that will move Barnett over to second base. And we have runners on first and second with Peyton Capulla, who was in left field and was charged with a hit and run in the third inning. So he discharged exactly what he was asked to do. However, the ball that he hit was ticketed for center field. Had it just not been a hit and run, it would have probably gone through. But as it turned out, it was a hit and run, throw down to second base. Ferris does a fine job of catching the ball on a short hop, and the attempt at a bunt at the plate goes awry. Anyway, to finish the story, had it just been every man for himself, the ball would have probably gone through to center field. But as it was, with the runner leaving from first base, the second baseman, Demas, headed towards second to cover, and that put him right in the line drive that was right at him, and then he did nothing but tag out the runner coming to the bag, and that ended the third inning. Attempted bunt once again, and one thing that is very difficult to teach someone who is bunting is that don't bunt out at the ball. You want to deaden the ball. And at that time, Capullo went out to reach out to the ball, and it went foul. So we have an 0-2 count. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth inning. This one bounded out towards Ferris at short. He's going to have to go hard to first base, and he just gets him. Another outstanding play by Angel Ferris, and he was one of the players that we indicated that you needed to listen for and watch for. He had no chance whatsoever to get either of the advancing runners, so runners have moved to second and third, but a very fine play by Angel Ferris at shortstop to get the out at first base. That will bring up Wrigley McGuire. McGuire got a double and came around to score in the fourth inning. Pitch to him is lifted to right center field and deep. Over to get it is the right fielder Kroger. He reaches up and makes the out, but the out results in a runner coming down from third base, so it'll be a sacrifice RBI for Mr. McGuire. And another runner scores, and it'll be 8-2 in favor of the Knights. Edward Ryan did not follow up from second base, so he is still on second base, and that'll bring up the catcher, Dominic Erickson. Erickson grounded into an out, but there was a runner at third. This one sliced down foul to the left side and just out of play. When Erickson hit the ball too short, Angel Ferris made an outstanding play on it and got the out at first base, but there was no way in the world that he could go to home to try to cut off the run. So that's how Erickson wound up with an RBI. And the Knights scored 2 in the fourth inning, and now they've scored 1 in the fifth and gotten back at least 1 that they gave away in the bottom of the fourth. Down low for a ball, 1-1. The on-deck hitter is Kenneth Markle. Markle got a double and came around to score in that 3-run second inning for the Knights. 1-1 pitch on the way. Slice towards Ferris. He goes to first to get the out, and that will be the third out of the inning, and in the inning 6-3, as Angel Ferris has really appointed himself very well tonight. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment and uniforms for all sports. They also do company printing, and they also handle school uniforms as well. Now, there's a full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press, custom printing, banners, and more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by, call, or find them on the web, Elite Sporting Goods. Has this guy been playing music to start the break in the inning? Do you remember? God, it's almost like he's going. We will go to the ninth hitter in the lineup, then the 10th, and then the top of the order. This is Jack McDonald, the extra hitter. He got a base hit in the third inning, full swing there and misses. Benjamin Teague is still on the mound.
22 and 15 are down there, but I don't know who's who.
Another off-speed pitch and a big swing and missed by McDonald. Teague has 3 strikeouts on the evening. 0-2 to McDonald with Demas to follow, and then to the top of the order to Kroger. One-two count. Kings finally broke through in the bottom of the second inning, getting 2. And they were down 7-2. Now they're down 8-2, having given one up in the top of the inning. This one bounces away, and it is a 2-2 count. Looking at games out on the outer fields there, in the bottom of the 6th inning, it is Team Tucson taking over the lead from the Cochise Stars 5-4. And in the top of the 4th, the Aztecs having their way with the Tucson champs 10-0. 2-2 pitch on the way. Big swing and a miss. Throw to first base and records the actual out. That will be the 5th strikeout for Teague. I missed accounting for one at the end of the 4th inning. Philip Demas will come up there. He got on an error. That was back in the 3rd inning. And then we'll go to the top of the order, Cameron Kruger, who is 0 for 2. T got the set. Inside corner, called strike. Looking at the infield, Barnett at third, Gallego at short, Hausman at second, and McGuire at first. Check the outfield for you here in just a second, as Demas is behind 0-1. Pitch misses 1-1. One ball and one strike. Misses outside, will go 2-1. Outfield of Capullo in left field, Parker in center, and Nieto in right. Collette swung around to the left side of straightaway center field, so there's a big gap in right center field right now. Fairly shallow is Capullo. Swung on, hit down to the third baseman, Barnett. He comes with it and throws a little bit low, but it's scooped up by McGuire, and that is the second out of the inning. Only 3 hits given up by Teague to this point, as he has gone through 4 2/3 inning. We'll go to the top of the order. Cameron Kroger, 0 for 2, grounded out to Gallego in the first and flew out to right field in the third inning. First pitch to him is a called strike. Nieto was the outputter guy in right field. How awkward. 0-1. Misses inside, 1-1. Well, they're holding a convention in the bullpen. This one to the left of Gallego, comes up with it, spins around, makes the throw. Nice snag by McGuire, and a big hand from his bench. So Gallego gets the third out of the inning here, and nothing across in the bottom of the fifth inning. So after 5 full innings of play, our score is the Knights 8 and the Kings coming up to bat and 2. It needs to be Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium on the 4th of July. Has to be. Listen to this. A spectacular fireworks show following an all-star 7-inning baseball game that all starts at 6:30. Plus, the gates open at 5 because they're going to have dollar hot dogs, giveaways, a kids zone with games, music, and much more. All of this for just $4. And you can get advance tickets. With the advance sale, you get free parking. The advance tickets are on sale at Pizza Hut, Food City, or the Cactus Bowl. Kino Stadium, 4th of July. Be there or be square. Gates open at 5. The game starts at 6:30, and there are all kinds of wonderful things for you and your family for just $4. Turn this one over. Start off with the top of the 6th inning, and the 10th hitter in the lineup, Kenneth Markel. Have a change at second base. Keegan Graff goes out to play second base. First pitch to Markel is inside corner for a called strike. Then we'll go to the top of the order, Nieto and then Hausman. To the plate, outside corner for a called strike. Somewhat expanded strike zone here in the Summer League. Markel goes to Rainy River Community College, and here is another young man that graduated from a high school around here, nice and warm. This one dribbled off the end of the bat, going to be a tough play, but executed very well. Shane Shepard gathers it up, and Travis Cole, the pitcher, covered. So the 3-1 out will be the first one. Anyway, to finish up the thought about Markel, Rainy River Community College is in International Falls, Minnesota, many times. That's the coldest pot in the nation. And Markel graduated from Mountain View High School right here in the Tucson area. This one swung on and hit out towards Ferris. He's cut off at third base by Escarga, and the ball gets thrown away. So Escarilla does not set his feet and doesn't come up with it, so it's a two-base throwing error by the third baseman, and that will put a runner on second base, that runner being Alberto Nieto, the right fielder, and that brings up Leland Hausman. Hausman got a double and came around to score in the first inning, struck out in the second, hit by a pitch in the fourth, got all the way around to third base but didn't get any farther. Runner in scoring position, 1 out here in the top of the sixth inning, and that will possibly expand the run total for the Rincon Knights if they can cash it in. They currently lead 8-2. Speaking about scores, in the top of the seventh, Cochise Stars have tied it up 5-5. That other game a little bit out of hand. Aztecs are leading the Tucson Champs 10-0 in the fourth inning. They do have a mercy rule here. If there's a 10-run differential by the seventh inning, well, they will call it at that spot. Slider drops in there for a called strike to Hausman. First pitch. Hausman, a recent graduate of Empire High School. Ball misses outside. 1-1. Ivan Gallego, I'll get it out in a second, is the on-deck hitter. This one fouled off the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gallego has a couple of hits, including an RBI double in the fourth inning the last time he was up to bat. This one wrapped towards the hole between third and short, bobbled by Escarga, and he throws it away. Escarga did a nice job of cutting off the ball and catching it. We're going to give a base hit to Hausman, but a run gets to second base on the error. Second one in the inning here, and a run comes around. Gallegos will step in with 1 run in and 1 run out, or 1 out in the inning, and a runner at second base. As I mentioned, Gallego chalked up 2 RBI hits, 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. He walked and came around to score in the first inning. So he's had a productive evening.
2-1 base runner.
So Travis Cole kind of gotten into the problems here a little bit. Outside corner for a called strike. So 2 errors behind him has not helped anything. He did a fine job on a ground ball to Shane Shepard at first base. Travis Cole got over there and recorded the out 3-1.
2 and 17 are warming up for the Knights.
Called strike, 0-2. So warming up out of the bullpen is Diego Etierios, and number 17, that's William Bess. So we'll see how much longer Teague will stay in. Check swing. Umpire on the field, Charlie Lujan, calls it a strike, and that will be the out, second out of the inning.
That's for this team down here, the home team, not the pitcher.
Teague is the other pitcher for the Rincon Knights, and he is the one that has a couple of players warming up behind him. 2 outs, runner on second, way outside for a ball. This is Parker Collette. Collette, playing center field tonight, has struck out twice in a row. He was the first batter to face Travis Cole when he came in the fourth inning and struck out there. Inside corner for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cole only has 2 strikeouts here. Big swing and comes up with nothing but air. 1 and 2. Collette kind of walks away and shakes his head a little bit. I'm sure that he would like to come up with something that is really a great hit here, because he's had a little trouble in the outfield. Looks like Leos, the catcher, got clipped a little bit. Not exactly sure where it got him, but the home plate umpire, David Trinidad, says, okay, buddy, shake it off. Here we go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First base open. A couple of outs here on the top of the 6th with 1 run in. Look back at second, comes to the plate, misses high. 2 and 2 will be the count. Parker graduated from Airy View High School. That is in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's his hometown. Move to second, decides not to throw. Kind of a late slide into the bag as Hausman face planted a little bit. Two in the dirt, but picked up by the catcher, tags the runner, and that will be the second strikeout here in the inning and the 3rd overall for Travis Cole. Cazal has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since 1982. Cazal Fire Protection Company serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Cazal has an extensive knowledge in fire protection, and they work very hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Cazal Fire Protection Company, first in quality and serving with pride. I'm gonna make a form for you here. Angel Ferris will step in, and although he has not been particularly productive at the plate tonight, he's 0 for 2. He has played an outstanding shortstop. First pitch, he fouls off to the right side. I've put at least 4 stars on different plays that he has made tonight. And so the young man has really been a vacuum cleaner over there and done an outstanding job at shortstop tonight. He struck out his last time up, and before that, in the first inning, popped out to the first baseman. This one whacked out to the right side. Benjamin Teague is still in there. He has thrown 86 pitches through his 5 innings of work, now in the 6th inning. 0-2 to Angel Ferris. He came into the game tonight batting .455 in his appearances here at the stadium. Once again, our stats are done electronically, and unfortunately the company that we got to do it has been having a horrible time getting cumulative stats. So it might be that we all get together here in a day or two and try to hand deliver this. hit hard, but right back at Teague. Teague picks it up and goes to first base. So it is a 1-3 out, first out in the top, check that, the bottom of the sixth inning. And that will bring up Jake Lealos. He is 0 for 2, flew out to right field in the first inning and grounded out to the third baseman in the fourth inning. Only 3 hits allowed to this point by Teague. He does have somebody warming up behind him in the bullpen. Breaking pitch called for a strike. William Bess, who we thought was out warming up to pitch, apparently was just out in the bullpen to warm his arm up. He has now gone into left field. And at first base, we'll check on that after a second strike called, 0-2. At first base is Matthew Alphabet Soup. I really apologize. I've not had an opportunity to get a pronunciation on this. This one swinging, fouled off. The catcher, Erickson, was a little disappointed that he was unable to grab a hold of it. Sturzic might be the pronunciation. Anyway, he went to Dallas High School. I'm going to assume that that's somewhere out of this area. Way outside. Ball gets away from Erickson, but he goes and picks it up. No problem. Nobody is on the base. Escarcega will be the next hitter. And he, if they get that far, will be followed by Orlando Romero. 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Misses outside and will square up the count at 2-2. Teague really throwing an outstanding game, has 5 strikeouts, only 2 walks, has only given up 3 hits to this point. This one lifted high towards center field. Dancing around for it a little bit is Collette, but he's camped underneath it and makes the out. Yes, I'm old school, but I have to tell you, it drives me crazy to see him grab the ball with one hand. We already had an error this evening where definitely if the second hand had been anywhere near the glove, he might have been able to grab it before it got down to the ground. Joseph Escarcega playing third base tonight. 0-2, big swing and a miss for a strike, 0-1. He's 0 for 2, struck out in the fourth inning and grounded out to shortstop in the second. At the set, big swing and a miss, 0-2 now. This is the second time in a row that Joseph has been 0 for 2. In the fourth inning, he struck out on an 0-2 pitch. So we'll see if Teague leaves it anywhere near, because quite frankly, with the swing for Escarcega, it could go a long way if he gets it. Way outside, that was a no. I'm not even going to let you see the ball. It was so far outside. And every time I see a pitch that far outside, I think of the longtime play-by-play guy for the Milwaukee Brewers. Just a little bit outside. Comes to the plate. Way outside, swung on and missed. Third out of the inning. And that will be the 6th strikeout for Teague as we go to the top of the 7th inning. No runs across here, and after 6 full innings of play, it is 9-2. O'Reilly Chevrolet would like to let you know about their 95th anniversary tent sale. What a sale's going on there. It's going to be going on all month, and the savings? Nice that you ask. You can save up to 20% off MSRP on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on their lot. Yes, the sale goes on all month, but to get the best selection, head on over to 6160 East Broadway. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. O'Reilly Chevrolet. We go to the top of the 7th inning with the Knights leading 9-2, and they're up to bat. It'll be Alvaro Barnett, the third baseman, stepping in there. He has one base hit in 3 trips to the plate. He's also been hit once, so he is 1 for 2. First pitch swinging, fouled off to the left side. He'll be followed in the schedule by Edwin Ryan, but we have somebody else swinging a bat in the on-deck circle. Tyler Thomas. We'll check on whether he's going to be coming up or not. Called strike on the inside part of the plate, and it's 0-2.
I don't know what this is. It's frozen. My information from me is frozen.
Barnett 0-2, swings at a pitch away, and it gets away from the catcher. The ball was way outside, so it's a strikeout, but he got on first base because the ball got away from the catcher. So coming up to bat here in the top of the 7th inning is Tyler Thomas out of the University of Mary in Bismarck, North Dakota. He is one of 3 players down here playing in the Sun Belt Summer League. He graduated from Catalina Foothills High School. So we'll see how he does this time out. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Piper and I are familiar with St. Mary. University of Mary, excuse me.
The Marauders.
University of St. Mary Marauders that sit on a hill overlooking a river. However, it is Bismarck, North Dakota. Top of the 7th, Mr. Thomas 0-1. Hits one just over the outstretched glove of Keenan Graff at second base, and that will be a base hit, sending the runner Barnett over to second. And the hitter will be number 17, William Bess, who came in to play center field. And what these managers try to do is to get everybody in the lineup a chance to bat, because this is, in fact, a summer league. So for the Knights, Bess steps in there in the stadium here. He's had a little bit of trouble with the bat. He's only batting 167 around a bunt, but it stays foul, and it'll be 1 strike on Mr. Bess. Not too sure what's going out on one of the south fields. It looks like our scoring system may have frozen there. The last we knew was the top of the 4th inning. The Aztecs were leading 10-0 over the Champs. Quite a battle going on the other outlying field. The Cochise Stars have taken the lead back again. They are on the bottom of the 8th there with a 6-5 lead over Team Tucson. And that lead has changed hands quite a few times during the ball game. Around to bunt. Runners on first and second. No balls and 2 strikes. A couple of attempts by William Bess, the left fielder, to get the bunt down unsuccessfully. In my opinion, I'll just go ahead and try to bunt it again. Back at second base, very close, but not quite in time. Angel Ferris and Travis Cole working that timing pickoff to perfection. But the runner at second base, Alvaro Barnett, was not that far off and got back in time. 0-2 count. We're in the top of the 7th inning, nobody out. Big swing and a miss. There was a strikeout of Barnett, but the ball was swung on at a pitch that was way outside, and it got away from the catcher, Leos, and so that's how a runner got on first base. Pinch hitter is going to be Matt Sturzitz. Matt coming in here as a slew of pinch hitters come in. Big swing, down low. Misses it, 0-1. Tried to get the runners to move up, but were unsuccessful there, so we'll see how they play it now. First pitch, full swing. The Knights have a 9-2 lead right now. Down and away for a ball, 1-1. Strikeout, got away from the catcher, got a runner on first. That runner now around second. Next pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right side. The next hitter, the pinch hitter, Tyler Thomas, got a base hit, so runners on first and second. And then William Best struck out for the first out of the inning. And Matt Sturzitz is up there now with a 1-2 count with runners on first and second and one out. High and away, squares the count at 2-2. The catcher, Dominic Erickson, is in the on-deck circle. He is 0 for 2, but has a ground ball RBI. That happened back in the fourth inning. To the plate, fouled off to the right side. So Sturzitz is keeping his at-bat alive. Travis Cole, the pitcher, came in with 2 outs in the fourth inning, the top of the fourth. Gave up a run in the fifth and a run in the sixth, called strike. And that will be the second strikeout in a row for Cole, and that brings his total up to 5 now. Dominic Erickson, as I mentioned, walked in the second inning, came around to score, then hit a ground ball that was beautifully handled by the shortstop, Angel Ferris, but there was a runner on third base, and there was no way in the world that Ferris could get the play to home, so he had to go to first, got the out there, but the run did score. Outfielders playing relatively shallow here, hoping to cut off any run at home. Especially shallow is Kruger in right, and Guru Harvey in center. Check that in left. The play down to first base. The first baseman wasn't anywhere near the bag. Somehow or other, he caught it on a hop. Takes a long look back into Leos and says, "Hey, what up? 1 ball and 1 strike." It's a good thing he happened to see it on its way. Shane Shepard at first base caught it on a hop, and he was at least 5 or 6 steps back behind the bag. Pitch outside corner for a called strike, 1-2. Lots of strikeouts in the inning, 3 of them to be exact. 2 of them counted and 1 of them didn't. The ball got away from the catcher. And down to first base, the runner went. 1-2. Timeout called at the plate. That is always something that's mildly controversial. Cole has gotten 5 strikeouts in the last 6 hitters. So he is on a roll here. Waved at a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. And nothing across here in the top of the 7th inning, and after 6.5, it is 9-2 in favor of the Knights. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With Stop and Go Driving School's expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Okay. He's still pitching? Oh my goodness. I got it. Who's the hitter? 18, can you? I got it. Orlando Romero will step in as the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the seventh inning. And the first pitch from Benjamin Teague is lifted high to right field. Somebody needs to call it. Did the second baseman grab it or not?
Yes.
Okay, he did get it. Whew, that always scares me. Right fielder Nieto coming in strong, Hausman going out. And if you really want to get technical about it, it is Hausman's, that is Nieto's call from right field. But he did not call Hausman off, and somehow or other, Hausman came up with the ball. Benjamin Teague is still on the mound for the Rincon Knights. He is over 100 pitches. The first pitch to Hostetler. Check that. We got a pinch hitter up here. I believe this might be, well, we can't.
13.
Okay, 13. The lights are out on the board. First pitch is a strike. Second one, a half swing. Kyle Rivera from Adams State University in Alamogordo, Colorado, is up there. Pitch to the plate, swung on and missed, and that is a strikeout. It is.
2-1. 1-2.
Oh, my goodness sakes. I thought that he had that first pitch called a strike. Well, apparently not. And once again, doing the scorebook in ink has cost me. Kyle Rivera looks down low, and the count goes to 2-2. So the pinch hitter Rivera, graduate of Tucson High School, 2-2 count, just misses outside for a 3-2 count. Teague does not show that he is slowing down, although through 6 innings he had 100 pitches. He's given up only 3 hits, so I guess they're going to let him go. Swung on and missed. Thank you very much. That keeps my book in order, and of course this is all about me. Second out in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Kings have been held totally in check by Benjamin Teague.
32 is up.
Shane Shepard, who got startled when he was about 5 or 6 paces off of first base, and the catcher went that way. The ball came at Shane on a hop, and at the last second he grabbed it. So kept the ball from going through. A half swing on a pitch that dropped down low, and that will be a swinging strike. Shane Shepard to this point is 1 for 2. He got on an error in the 2nd inning and got a double in the 4th. Couple of outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Kings need to start chipping away at things. They started to do that in the 4th inning to get within 5 runs, but then The Knights scored in the 5th and the 6th, and we're back to 9-2. Up and away, 2-1. We did have some activity out in the Knights bullpen, but they have since come into the dugout, and nothing going on. 2-1. Big swing, fouled off to the right side. Of course, I don't know why I should describe anything from Shane Shepard as anything but a big swing. Every one of them, he seems to be in full motor mode. 2-2. This one hit towards the second baseman, diving stab by Houseman, but he can't keep it, and looks like he kind of maybe rang his tummy or knocked some wind out of him or something like that, because he has got head down. We do have a trainer who's now coming out from underneath the stands and headed out towards to see if Houseman did anything more than knock the wind out of him. He stretched out to try to keep that ball in the infield from going out to right field, and I'm going to suspect with his arms outstretched and the landing full tummy on the grass out there that it may have kind of rattled some air out of him, although he is looking at his left shoulder. I didn't think that he hit down that way, but we'll watch and see what's going on. The trainer kind of looking at the left shoulder as we have a little pause in the action here. Base hit will put a runner on. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it really is going to behoove the Kings to begin to chip away at this and then hold the Knights. They have a 9-2 lead, the Knights do. We have quite a barn burner going out on one of the south fields, and the other one we've lost track of completely in that it has not updated at all. So Houseman will get up and shake it off, coming in, moving rather slowly, so we'll see what they do to replace him. I thought maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, but when the trainer got out there, he began to discuss things on his left shoulder.
Yeah, I believe it's 19.
So going out to take his place for the Knights will be number 19, Angel Marquez, another player from Laguna Community College, which is out in Las Vegas, New Mexico. He is a graduate of Desert View High School just this last May here in the greater Tucson area. So Angel will step in and replace Leland Houseman, who made an outstanding effort to get out towards that ball, but landed full on with an outstretched left arm, and I think maybe he might have tweaked it a little bit. This is Jonah Loutman. Check that. We've got a pinch hitter here as well. First pitch swinging.
Number 11, I believe. Wait. No, 17.
The batter for the Kings is the new left fielder, Julian Guru Harvey. And the ball is down and in. Erickson grabs hold of it and keeps it right there.
Number 11.
So Julian Harvey, who went in, Guru Harvey rather, went in to play left field a couple of innings ago. Big swing and misses, and it is 1-2. Guru Harvey graduated from Notre Dame High School, that was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He goes to St. Michael's College in the same city. Outside corner called strike, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning, and the 2nd strikeout in the inning, and the 8th overall for Benjamin Teague. And we've got 100 pitches starting the inning, and then he's up to 116 here. So it will be questionable about how much longer he's going to be going. There were no runs across, so the Kings only have 2 versus the Knights 9. There was 1 base hit in the inning, but that was only the 4th one given up by Benjamin. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They are the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. One of their customers wrote in, said it was the most painless deal I ever had buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing and affordable vehicles, make sure that you check out Goliath Auto Sales. Well, I don't know what happened to our 15 in a row there, but okay. 0-2 in the bottom of 7. God damn it. We're in the top of the 8th, right? Yeah. So we've got number 27. Who's up to bat? Number 5. So number 5 for the Knights. I would hope so. Dylan Thomas. No, the Kings are out in, defensively. Yeah, it's the Kings are out defensively.
So number 18 is.
First pitch will be to the pinch hitter, Dylan Thomas. And Dylan steps in there and looks at a called strike. Haven't seen much action from Dylan, and he probably will get a bruise out of that. Hit by a pitch. And we'll try to pick up who the pitcher is for the Old Pueblo Kings. It's number 18. And for the Kings, that is going to be Orlando Romero on the mound. This one hit out towards Ferris once again, and this time he boots it, throws it away. No, Shane Shepard does a great job of catching it and throws to third base. Can't get him over there. Nieto was the batter, and they're going to credit Angel with an error, but what a valiant effort. The runner stays at first, going around to second base is Dylan Thomas. So runners at first and third and nobody out with Orlando Romero on the mound. The runner goes from first base. The ball is thrown to second base on a hop. The runner from third, Dylan Thomas, decides not to try to break towards home. I don't know if they were trying to get a setup deal there or not. The batter right now is Leland Hausman. Well, we've got a pinch hitter there. 19 for the Rincon Knights is going to be Angel Marquez. Oh, that's right. He went into second base when Hausman came out with what may have been a shoulder injury. So Angel is up there for the first time, and he sits down with a strikeout. That'll be the first out of the inning and the first strikeout for Orlando Romero. He is in relief of Travis Cole, who is in relief of Carlos Lopez. Gallego, the shortstop, steps in now. First pitch to him is a called strike. Waves at one down low and misses. Gallegos is 2 for 3. He walked in the first, got an RBI single in the second, an RBI double in the fourth inning, and struck out in the sixth inning. Gallegos is the hitter. Pitch is outside, and we go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Knights enjoying a 9-2 lead here in the top of the 8th inning, so the Kings will just have 2 innings to be able to try to make that up. The pitch on the outside corner, and in frustration, Gallegos slaps his bat down and cracks it. So second strikeout of the inning for Romero, and I want to tell you, those bats are extremely expensive. They're up in the $100 range. The next batter is the center fielder, Parker Collette. Collette has been up to the plate 4 times and struck out 3 of those 4 times, each time swinging. First pitch is a ball. This one fouled off to the screen on the right, 1-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning, positions 9, 10, and then 1 will be coming up, so we'll be watching for pinch hitters there. A little bit above the letters, and the count will go to 2-1. This one slapped down towards third. Nice job by Escariga, and he gets it over to first. That is the 3rd out of the inning, and nothing comes across here in the top of the 9th inning. And after 7 full innings of play, rather 7.5 innings of play, it is the Knights 9 and the Kings 2. The Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goal do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, estate strategy? Well, the personalized services available at the Rincon Financial Group will help you out with your needs, wants, and financial goals. Are we still on okay over there? And how many viewers? How many? I got 10 here, but that's all right. Is this yours? Yeah, it is. I got Knights and Kings here. Oh, wait a minute. Batting averages. Sorry. Okay, 0 and 9 here. 0-9. Flip that over. Turn this on. They will stay with Jack McDonald, the extra hitter, here in the bottom of the 9th inning. First pitch, he swacks down to first base, and Matt Stryich will come up with it and get to the bag on his own, and it's the first out in this inning, and Benjamin Teague is still on the mound, 116 pitches to this point. Well, I can't tell whether we have a pinch hitter or what. We have lights out on the scoreboard, and it's really hard to see the number that's up there. And so for the Kings, batting Keegan Graff will step in there, and this is his first time at bat. First pitch to him is a ball. Next one gets away and is also a ball. Graff was behind the plate the other night when we had the Kings here in the stadium. Nobody on, 1 out. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning with the Kings trailing 9-2. They need base runners. Big swing, didn't catch anything but air, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Inside corner for a called strike, and it'll go 2-2. So far, Benjamin has only allowed 4 hits. The 2 runs came in the 4th inning. This one hit sky high on the right side. Under it is the second baseman, Angel Marquez, and it definitely was his call, even though Stryrich was over there. So pop out to the second baseman for the second out of the inning, and we'll go up to the top of the inning here, or the top of the order. The batter will be Alessandro Diaz. Diaz, one of the numerous players that play at Pima Community College. He is a South Point High School graduate in 2016. And just happened to notice that he had a birthday on the 29th of May. First pitch is a called strike to Alessandro. Second strike, 0-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, pinch hitter. And the Kings really need to get some base runners. They're sticking with Teague. Outside, swung on, and a strikeout. That is going to be the 9th strikeout of the ball game for Teague, and he is up to 125 pitches, letting a young man go an awful long way here. No hits in the inning, 4 total in the ball game given up by Teague, and he has given up a couple of runs. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwiches quickly as possible. And in doing so, you get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by the store, or if it's more convenient, order online at jimmyjohns.com. I don't know, I might be super sensitive to it, but I think this guy did not play music. Okay, honey, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, bottom of the 8th, nothing, 2-0-2. Knights, so we need Kings, okay? Romero is still out there, right? Okay. The third baseman, Barnett, will step in there for the Rincon Knights, and he is promptly stuck in the back with a baseball. That's the first batter that Romero has hit. On the mound is Orlando Romero. Before that, Travis Cole had plunked one of the players. And let's see who's coming up here. This is Travis Thomas. Thomas was in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and got a base hit. So he's up there with 1 on and nobody out. The pitch by Romero is a called strike at the letters. Nine to 2 on the top of the 9th inning. So it will be one tremendous rally in the bottom of the 9th to keep this thing going. The old Pueblo Knights, the Rincon Knights, up 9 to 2. The old Pueblo Kings going to have to do some fancy stuff. Runner goes to second, throw down to second, gets him. So from the catcher to the second baseman covering, and the count goes to 1-2, first out of the inning. Two count. Heck of a ball game going out there in the South 40. Cochise Stars and the Team Tucson have been battling back and forth. This one hit towards the hole. Angel Ferris with a tremendous stop to keep it in the infield, but he could not get it over to first base in time, and that is another fantastic effort by Angel Ferris, who has been all over the place at shortstop tonight. Anyway, to continue the thought about the Cochise Stars and Team Tucson, it has been back and forth, 6-5, 6-5, 5-6, 8-5, and now it is 9-5 with one out in the bottom of the ninth inning. The first pitch to William Bess is a ball, and I'm not exactly sure what the deal was with the Aztecs in their ball game tonight. Although they had a 10-run lead, we may not have gotten an update on this. This one slapped out to Ferris. Tough play for him, and unfortunately the young man boots it. So after a really outstanding day at shortstop, Angel is credited with an error. I think what happened is he looked up to see if he could get the runner at second and took his eye off the ball. So that will move the runner, Tyler Thomas, over to second base. And Bess is safe at first, and this will bring up the batter, the first baseman, Matt Stryich. Stryich came in as a defensive replacement. This is his first at-bat. And he looks at the second pitch, also a ball, so he's ahead 2-0. Orlando Romero, the pitcher, came in the top of the eighth inning, so this is his second inning of work. And Romero goes 3-0 on the batter. Runners on first and second, one out. And the Knights threatening again to expand their 9-2 lead. Pitch on the knees for a called strike, 3-1. Team Tucson narrows the gap 9-6 now. Big swing and a miss on a pitch that was probably the fourth ball. (3-2), grounded to the right of first base. Shane Shepard could not get over there, and that will load him up. Dominic Erickson will be up there. He has an RBI infield hit in the fourth inning. Around that, he walked and came around to score in the second, grounded out to shortstop in the fifth, and struck out in the seventh inning. First pitch is a ball, as Romero has not been particularly successful getting the first pitch strike in. That one outside, and right away Romero is behind 2-0. He was behind 2-0 to Stryich, who got a base hit. He was behind 2-0 to Bess, who contacted the ball. Unfortunately, it was an error that got him to first base. That's number 29. 2-2 is the count. Erickson, a recent graduate from high school, outside corner, called strike 3. And that will be the second out of the inning. And we will go down to the 10th hitter in the order. This is Dylan Thomas. Thomas came in as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. And he was the first batter that Orlando Romero faced. And Romero promptly stuck one into his wallet. Big swing on a high pitch. 0-1. The Knights lead at 9-2. Golfs at one and misses it. 0-2. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. Team Tucson has scored another one and has narrowed it up. Actually, they scored two. There are two outs in the bottom of the ninth inning. Team Tucson is the home team, and they've gotten to within one run. Pitch is a strike, and that is now the fourth strikeout turned in by Romero. It does end the inning, and we will go to the bottom of the ninth inning to see if the Kings can put on an outstanding rally. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and two-run suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, and in-room safe. Watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen television. Many rooms have patio doors opening out into a very quiet and tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay, Best Western Tucson International Hotel and Suites. Well, Angel Ferris has been a force defensively. Unfortunately, last inning he was credited with an error, but it was a very, very tough play. He's had a little bit of a problem at the plate so far. He's 0 for 3. Popped out to the first baseman in the first, struck out in the third, and in the sixth dribbled one back to the pitcher, and he was out at first base. Teague is still out there. That is a little bit of a challenge to understand. He started the inning with 125 pitches, and they're looking, I guess, at a complete game here. Parker Collette in center field has swung way around towards the right field side, so there's a huge gap in left center field. Outside corner for a call strike, and we have a 2-1 count. Keeping an eye on what's going on out there, and unfortunately Team Tucson, for them, could not erase a 4-run ninth inning deficit. This one bounded out to Gallego, who cannot come up with the pitch or with the ground ball, and I think maybe they're going to give him, by golly, they gave him an error. Okay. So Gallego gets an error. 9-8 is the final score. The Cochise Stars outlasting Team Tucson. Coming into the ninth inning, it was 9-5. Team Tucson scored 3, but could not overcome the 9-run lead, and that is the final out there, 9-8. The batter is Jake Lalos. The catcher, he is a first pitch strike. Jake is also 0 for 3 at this point. Kind of a half-hearted move towards first base, just kind of a reminder that I know you're over there. Angel Ferris has good speed, but what the Kings need would be base runners. Misses inside for a ball, 1-1. Benjamin Teague all the way so far. He gave up 2 runs in the fourth inning, and those runs, I believe, are going to be considered unearned because there was an error mixed in there. That would be up to the official score. Pitch swung on and missed, 1-2. But all the rest of the way, Teague has shut him out. 4 base hits is all. Teague has 9 strikeouts so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch down low, swung on, and a strikeout. That is 10 strikeouts for the young man. Teague, a graduate of Foothills Composite High School here in Tucson, Arizona, mentioned that he is one of 5 players on the Knights that came down here from Williston State. That's up in North Carolina, Williston, North Dakota, I should say. First pitch by Escarcega is swung on and missed. Well, this is a pinch hitter for Escarcega, I believe. This one wrapped out towards the shortstop and through. Second error in the inning for the shortstop, Gallego. And that will put runners on first and second. Orlando Romero will be the hitter up there with 1 out, runners on first and second. He is the designated hitter. The ball catches the outside corner for a called strike. Romero, who's now in as a pitcher, walked in the second and walked in the fourth. In the fourth, he came around to score. Then he popped up to the second baseman in the 7th inning. Ball misses outside, 1-1. 9-2 in favor of the Knights. The Kings at bat in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 runners on and 1 out. This one lifted high to left center field. They're going to have to hustle to get to it. Coming all the way over is William Bess, and he gathers it in for the putout as he had to go a long way to get that ball and reached out and grabbed it, second out of the inning. Runners do not advance, and that will bring up Kyle Rivera. Rivera came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and struck out. Called strike. Get the line score. Write down the line score as it stands right now. 0-1. Pitch misses outside, 1-1. Outside corner for a call strike. So the Kings are down to their last strike here. The Kings have been burdened by 7 errors tonight. Unfortunately, the Knights have 5. And that's one of the problems with the Summer League as it stands right now, is they don't have a lot of practice time. And unfortunately, we've seen quite a few games with quite a few errors. That was not the case last night, or as Saturday night, I should say, in the game between the BNL Rockets and the Cochise Stars. It was 3-2 in favor of the Rockets, but only 2 errors were made. This one hit out towards Gallegos. Cutting in front of him is Barnett, which he should have done, but unfortunately he did not gather up the ball. And that will be an error on the third baseman, and will load them up. Shane Shepard, with the bases loaded, he has 2 hits, a double and a single, got on an error that was back in the 2nd inning. Outside corner for a call strike. Misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Normally you expect a lot of power from your hitters that are players at first base and third base. So Shane Shepard is a first baseman, and he certainly looks like he might be able to power a ball out of here. hits it hard to right field. It's down. The right fielder over there, Nieto, loses the ball, and it goes all the way back to the warning track in right field, and 3 runs will score. So a base hit and an error will move the runners around. So 3 runs come in. Shepard, number 32. Bases loaded now, or excuse me, bases clear now. And finally, Teague will be removed. He was 125 pitches coming into the 9th inning, and he will leave the game. Try to find out how many pitches that the young man threw, but he really, really worked his head off out there. 147 pitches. 94 considered to be strikes. So coming into the ball game will be Diego Itieros, a recent graduate of Sabino High School, and also he just had a birthday on the 12th of June. So this is kind of a significant period of time for him.
Best day ever. Temperatures are 86. Temperatures.
Started off at 97 degrees here at the ballpark, and we've dipped down to 86. I've mentioned before, one thing that's very pleasant about the Tucson area is that we're a little higher elevation than Phoenix, and we cool down relatively well at night. And that's kind of what occurred in the mid-80s right now after being 103 at the airport. So Itirius will be the pitcher. In warm-ups, having a little hard time getting the ball over the plate. The hitter that will come up here is number 2 for the Kings. That is Isaac Montano. So he is another pinch hitter.
No, he's playing. They moved him to.
He moved into left field as the 3rd left fielder of the evening. First pitch to him is a ball. Next one outside for another ball, 2-0. So the Knights dugout, fairly boisterous most of the evening, is now a little quiet. Swung on and missed for 2 balls and 1 strike. 9-5 is the score now. Couple of outs, a runner in scoring position. And Montano at the bat. He is a new acquisition. We don't have much information about him. Off-speed pitch drops down low, and it'll be 3-1. In this particular case, as a pitcher, you don't want to give in because first base is open. Way outside for a ball. Well, that made it 3-2. Oh, did he call that a strike? Oh, my goodness. Whoa, the expanded strike zone in this league. 3-2 is the count. Pitch, outside corner, called strike, and that's the 3rd out of the inning, and that will wrap up our game here. So the Kings did a little bit of damage in their part of the 9th inning, but it did not overcome a 9-2 count and did not overcome what was an outstanding pitching performance, albeit 147 pitches by Benjamin Teague. Benjamin Teague went all the way through. As I mentioned, he came from Foothills Composite High School, 2017 graduate, and he is one of 5 players that are playing on this Knights team that come by way of Williston State College in Williston, North Dakota. Well, that about does it on the wrap-up here. Looking at the line score for the Knights, 9 runs, 11 hits, and 6 errors. For the Kings, 5 runs, only 6 hits, and 7 errors. So the errors certainly did play a big part in tonight's ball game. And the way things worked out is the Knights got 2 in the top of the first inning, and then they came right back with 3 more in the top of the second. Nothing came across in the third, but in the fourth inning, 2 more came across for the Knights. But finally, in the bottom of the inning, the Kings got into the scoring column with 2 runs, and the count to that point was 7-2. But the Knights were back at it in the top of the 5th and the top of the 6th inning, scoring single runs in both of those innings. Now, they were shut out over the last 3 innings. However, the Kings were unable to score in the 7th and 8th. They did finally push across 3 in the bottom of the 9th, mostly on the strength of errors, because overall they only got 6 hits overall to get their 5 runs. Well, that about does it from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll look forward to tomorrow night's schedule. The Cochise Stars won a tight one tonight, and they will be here in the stadium against these very same Rincon Knights. The Knights having lost now 7 in a row, but they come back tonight to win one 9-5. So they will certainly come out here with the effort that they had tonight and see if they can't get 2 in a row and possibly get out of the cellar. That does it from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium for Sunbelt Summer Baseball in Tucson, Arizona. For Piper Ballou, this is Alan Scott saying good night.